அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். வேதவேத்யனான் என்று ஓடி வருகின்றான், ஜிதம் ஜிதம் என்றபடி ஓடி வருகின்றான். பத பல்லவம் நோக ஓடி வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். மதயானை போல அவன் நடந்து வருகின்றான், கதை எங்கே கதை எங்கே கேட்டு வருகின்றான். கதகளி ஆட்டம் கண்டு மகிழ்ந்து நிற்கின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். விதி ருத்ரன் சேவிக்க ஓடி வருகின்றான், மதியொலி முகமென ஓடி வருகின்றான். கதிதான் உனக்கென்று ஓடி வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். சதா நாமம் கேட்டவன் ஓடி வருகின்றான், ராதா காந்தன் நான் என்று ஓடி வருகின்றான். ரூபமானவன் ஓடி வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். அதிசுந்தரமான இவன் ஓடி வருகின்றான், ரதிபதி மதுபதி ஓடி வருகின்றான். நூதன நவநீதம் கேட்டு ஓடி வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். குதித்து குதித்து ஆட்டம் போட்டு ஓடி வருகின்றான், ஜதி சுத்தமாக அவன் ஆடி வருகின்றான். ரதி முரளிக்கு என்மேல் என்று ஓடி வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான், அதோ வருகின்றான் குருவாயூரப்பன், அதோ வருகின்றான். கோபிகா ஜீவன ஸ்மரணம் கோவிந்தா கோவிந்தா. சத்குரு மகாராஜ் ki jai. guruvAyurappan is giving darshan to Dhruva today. Beautiful story, Dhruva Charitham, canto number 17, Narayanyam. Okay, chapters are there from 4.8 to 4.12, and so we have been studying in detail in Bhagavatam. This story also comes in other Puranas, Vishnu Purana and other Puranas. This story is very famous, and so the same story is condensed in Bhagavatam and then even more condensed in Narayanyam. So by Gurunada's grace, we are going to begin today canto number 17. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmani Namaha. उत्थानपाद नृपदेर मनुनंदनस्य जाया बभूव सुरुचिर्नितरामभीष्टा अन्यासु नीतिरिति भर्तुरनादृता सा स्वामेव नित्यम् अगदि शरणं गताभूत् उत्थानपाद नृपतेर मनुनंदनस्य जाया बभूव सुरुचिर्नितरामभीष्टा अन्यासु नीतिरिति भर्तुरनादृता सा त्वामेव नित्यमगदि शरणं गताभूत्. Adho was the king and he had two wives, Suruchi and Suniti. Jaya babuva Suruchi nitaramavishta. Uttanapada Manu Nandanasya. He is the son of Swayambhuva Manu. And he had two wives. Suruchi is extremely dear to him. Other one is Suniti. Anya Suniti Riti Bhaktur Anadritasa. Other Puranas say that Suniti was driven away from the kingdom. She was not even allowed to live in the palace. She was living in a nearby forest separately. And so Suniti, as soon as the child was born for her, the first child Dhruva, she was sent away from the palace and went to live in a separate place in the forest, it seems. And Suruchi took over. And so this Uttanapada is a henpecked husband. He is the slave of Suruchi. And so Suniti was neglected by her husband. So when the world is neglecting us, when the people who think are our support, when they reject us, what is our what is the only alternative we have? We have to go to guruvAyUrappan. We have to take surrender at the feet of the Lord. So like that, Suniti, since she was alone and did not have any other support, she took refuge at the feet of guruvAyUrappan. And so she is the intelligent one, because she didn't rely on the world, she relied on guruvAyUrappan. So, Tvameva Nityam Agadi. You can never say I am Agadi, Gadi Illai. When there is always Bhagavan is there, we cannot say Gadi Illai. So, she took refuge at the feet of guruvAyUrappan. Tvameva Nityam Agadi Sharanam Gatabhut. Then, Anke Pitu Suruchi Putrakam Uttamam Tam. दृष्ट्वा ध्रुव किल सुनीति सुदोधिरोक्षन् आचिक्षिबे किल शिशुस्तुतरां सुरुच्या दुस्सन्त्यजा खलु भवद्विमुखैरसूया अंगे पितुः सुरुचि पुत्रकम् उत्तमं तं दृष्ट्वा ध्रुव किल सुनीति सुदोधिरोक्षन् आचिक्षिबे किल शिशुस्तुतरां सुरुच्या दुस्सन्त्यजा खलु भवद्विमुखैरसूया. Uttanapada is sitting on the throne, and Uttama, the other son of Suruchi, he is sitting on the lap of Uttanapada. And our little child Dhruva came running, and he too wanted to sit on the lap of his father. He came to know that Uttanapada, the Raja, is his father. Other kids, they were all playing in the outside, it seems, and everybody was telling about their father, and then Dhruva was wondering, asking his mother, who is my father? And then Suniti and all the other children told him, the Raja himself is your father. So Dhruva came running to the palace to sit on the lap of his father, and he, bravely got up and sat on the lap of his father. Ange pitu suruchi putrakam uttamam tam drishtva dhruva kila suniti sudodirokshan. And the moment he sat there, Suruchi came and stopped him. And Achikshibe, she scolded the little child with, without any feeling. She scolded him. Achikshibe kila shishustutaram suruchya dustantyaja. There is so much jealousy in Suruchi. So the moment king married her, she has taken over. And so Suniti was driven away, and so much jealousy. So once she got control of that palace, now she is running the show. It shows that she did not have bhakti. Dustantyaja. When there is no bhakti, then there is jealousy, there is asuya. So dustantyaja khalu bhavat vimukhai asuya bhavat vimukhai. Her mind is turned away from Bhagavan. Vimukhai. We do not want to have any sangha with vimukhas. That is called kussanga. means people who are away from, whose mind is turned away, opposite from guruvAyUrappan. Our mind is turned towards Bhagavan. Their mind is turned towards the world. So we don't want to have anything to do with them. They are called Dussanga. They will make us also like that. So like that, with Suruchi, we saw the word yesterday, Viveka. How to get Viveka? Viveka means knowing what is correct and what is wrong. Suruchi did not have Viveka. She is relying on the world and she is trying to control her life by herself. But Suniti, on the other hand, she had taken refuge at the feet of Bhagavan. She has Viveka. She did not rely on the world. She took refuge at the feet of Bhagavan. Now you will see, as the story goes, the one who relied on the world, her son is going to have a bad ending. Her story is going to have a bad ending eventually. Whereas the Bhakta who relies on Bhagavan, they will have a good ending later. So it is called Shreyas and Preyas. What is for our ultimate welfare? Even though it will be a little bit tough in the beginning, the bhakti, it leads to our ultimate good. Whereas when you have short-term pleasures like Suruchi, then your end is not going to be good. So that is what it shows here. So we should have viveka to make the right choice. So Suniti, she did not give up. She surrendered to Bhagavan. Suruchi, on the other hand, is trying to control her husband, trying to control everything by her buddhi. But the buddhi has limitation. Even beyond the buddhi, it is guruvAyUrappan. So you will see this. That is why it says asuya, jealousy. It cannot be given up by people who are trying to do everything their way. They want control. So they are jealous of Dhruva. What can a child do? Right? But she's jealous and feels insecure about that child, Dhruva. So she scolded him and she, made him get off. So, Ashikshibe kila shishu sutaram suruchya dussantyaja phalu bhavat vimukhair asuja. त्वन्मोहिते पितरि पश्यति दारवश्ये दूरं दुरुक्तिनिहदस्तगतो निजाम्बाम् सापि स्वकर्मगति सन्तरणाय पुंसाम् त्वत्पादमेव शरणं शिशवे शशंस त्वन्मोहिते पितरि पश्यति दारवश्ये दूरं दुरुक्तिनिहद सगतो निजाम्बाम् सापि स्वकर्मगति सन्तरणाय पुंसाम् त्वत्पादमेव शरणं शिशवे शशंस. Tvanmohite. Moha means delusion. So yesterday we saw a beautiful Bhagavata Mahatmya shlokas, right? All the human beings, they are all in Ajnana Dvanta. We are deep in Ajnana. We are in Moha and Maya. Like this Uttana Pada is example. Tvanmohite pitari pashyati is completely deluded and under the influence of your Maya. Tvanmohite pitari pashyati Dharavashye is under the control of his wife. Dharavashye, his henpecked husband, being under the influence of Maya. Tvanmohite pitari pashyati Dharavashye. Dhruva is looking, Appa, what is this? He didn't understand. He's taken aback. Duram durukti nihada. He was completely confused. Little child, imagine what he would go through, right? He's pushed away from his father's lap, and they are supposed to be elders, and they are behaving like this. And Dhruva couldn't understand. The tears are rolling in his eyes, and he ran to his Nijamba, went to his own mother. He ran to her, and then, Amma, there isn't a little bit of anger, a little bit of hurt, little bit of sadness and tears and confusion. All these emotions are flooding the child. And he ran to the mother. And the mother also, She's such a kind-hearted and gentle-natured woman. So she also started crying. She hugged the child and she took a deep breath, it seems, and tried to close her eyes and understand the cause of this problem or how to find a solution to this problem. She closed her eyes. It seems this coming in Bhagavatam. Dirgham swasanti vrijinasya param apashyati balakamaha bala. Dirgham Shwasanti, she took a deep breath and did a little bit introspection for a second and thought how to solve this dukkha, how to solve this problem. And she couldn't find the end to this dukkha at all. It seemed like a big ocean of dukkha, and there was no shore to see. And so she took a deep breath and then she understood the cause of this dukkha. What is the cause? Sapi karmagati santaranaya pumsa. It is our own karma from previous birth that is the cause of the dukkha now. So, understanding that, she decided what new karma can we do to get over this karma? Is it possible? How to solve this problem? Can we do any new karma? So what she could have done, go back and talk to her husband, hey, don't treat my son like that, or fight with the wife. No, is that possible? Is they going to do anything? What new karma can you do to get over solve this? She couldn't understand. She didn't have any answer. Then she realized, Sapisva karma gati santaranaya pumsam, to get over our own karma. Santarana means cross, to get over the effect of our own action. Pumsam, all of us, Tvatpadameva sharanam shishave shashamsa. The only way to get rid of our previous karma and get rid of that dukkha from that is to take refuge at the feet of Bhagavan. There is no other shortcut or some other method to solve this problem of Dhruva. And even if she did something, it wouldn't have taken to the beautiful end that Bhagavan has planned for him. Right? So Bhagavan has written the story a certain way, and that is how Bhagavan is going to execute. Now, if by Jiva, if I go and interfere and say, oh, I'm going to talk to Uttanapada and Suruchi and say, this is not fair, like that, it won't work, right? Bhagavan's way will work. So, any new karma she did to solve it wouldn't have solved it. So, she realized, let us pray to Bhagavan. Let him, he will give an answer for sure. So, she is telling Dhruva, Tapisva karma gati, because our karma gati, each one's karma gati is different and we have to face it ourselves. So, to solve that, Pumsam, all men, all human beings, what they should do, Patpadameva Sharanam. Many times in our own lives, we know we cannot solve something with our buddhi or by talking or negotiation or a different method will not work. Then we'll say only Krishna, you do it somehow. I don't know what to do. Like that. Those days, they always relied on Bhagavan immediately. So, our Suniti being a bhakta, she was a bhakta, but the other two, Uttanapada and Suruchi, not bhaktas. So, being a bhakta, she's telling Dhruva, go take refuge at the feet of Bhagavan. There is victory at the feet of Bhagavan. Jayam, where is Jayam? Where is victory? At the feet of Bhagavan. So, Tvatpadameva Sharanam Shishave Shashamsa. So, when she said like this is going to bring the highest blessing for Dhruva. Dhruva got the blessing because the punya done by his mother, not because she's the one telling 5-year-old child, go pray to Bhagavan. And the child is listening. And then not only that, Uttama Guru is going to come. Uttama Guru is going to come and guide Dhruva. And then he's going to attain the highest world. So, the punya of the mother is going to take Dhruva all the way. So, that is the beautiful mother who is Suniti, such a mother. So, she's telling him, Sapisva karmagati santaranaya pumsam. In this Kali Yuga, people will say, what? How can Bhagavan solve He'll try something. If you have such friends, do not listen to them. You listen to the friend who says, go to guruvAyUrappan, right? That is what Narayanam says. If there is a problem, don't rely on other people. Suruchi and Uttanapada, they are not going to help Suniti. Don't rely on other people to solve our problem. Rely on the highest. Rely on Bhagavan. That is what Suniti is teaching. And that is the way to victory. It may seem very, bhajan group, they always only do bhajan. As are people everywhere now, right? Do not listen to them. Do not be embarrassed. The other day, somebody came to my house and he said, very good, you're religious. It keeps you occupied. It's not just you're occupied. Religious, it is a gift. And I was going to tell him, you don't know what you're missing. So we should be having that confidence. I'm religious, yes, I'm happy and I want to be that way, right? So that is how Suniti taught her son. And so she says, Tvatpadameva Sharanam. A put a lotus feet of Bhagavan, that the Ganga flowing from the feet, our Lord Shiva takes on his head and always bowing down and doing pranams to him. That Lakshmi Mata, she's always serving that lotus feet of Bhagavan. All the gods are saying, let us have glimpse of that feet. All the treasures are available in the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Which mother will say, do something else? The mother who says, go to Bhagavan is the intelligent one. So she's telling nicely, Patpadameva Sharanam, Shishave Shashamsa, only Shishu, he's a 5-year-old child. A child. Shishave Shashamsa. Then she told him, and so, Akanyasopi Bhavadachana Nishchidatma. Mani Niretya Nagara Kila Panchavarshaha. Sandrishta Narada Nivedida Mandra Margaha. Twamara Radha Tapasa Madhukananande. Akarnya Sopi Bhavadarchana Nishchidatma. Mani Niretya Nagarat Kila Panchavarshaha. Sandrishta Narada Nivedida Mandra Margaha. Twamara Radha Tapasa Madhukananande. And he made up his mind to go and worship guruvAyUrappan. Bhavadachana Nishchidatma. Dhruva word itself means the one who has firmness. So, and also he has Mani Niretya Nagar. There is lot of self-respect. Being a Kshatriya kid, right? He has lot of self-respect. So he decided, I'm going to get this. Like that we should have conviction and we should have pray with that conviction. When people study for exams with conviction, then only they succeed. For us to succeed in spiritual world also, we need conviction, we need courage, we need perseverance, we need faith, we need to keep going. So Dhruva is the example for that. Mani Niretya Nagarat Kila Panchavarshaha. He's determined to do it, so he goes searching for guruvAyUrappan. Who has found guruvAyUrappan like this, right? But Dhruva has courage and conviction, so he left Kila Panchavarsha, only 5 years old. And there guruvAyUrappan will send the Gurunatha. When the mind is made up like this, guruvAyUrappan himself comes as Narada. Naradascha Bhagavan Bhavadangridasaha. And Tasyada Sarga Rasigasya Marichiratrihi Tatra Gira Kratumuni Pulaha Pulasyaha. All the rishis' names are described as they all came from Brahmaji's body during Srishti. And then Naradascha Bhagavan Bhavadangridasaha. Narada is another form of Bhagavan only. Bhavadangridasaha is the greatest devotee and always equal to Bhagavan, almost equal. guruvAyUrappan has status. Narada is like wandering a bhakta, is a bhakta. But same anugraham he can give. So that is why we should not go by the position and status alone. So we can get fooled, right? So Narada, Adedan, same. Gurunada, guruvAyUrappan, no difference. So, like that, our Narada has come. Sandrishta Narada Nivedida Mandra Margaha Twamararada Tapasa. Initially, Narada came to Dhruva and told him, little child Dhruva, don't take this all serious. Just one day it happened. It's not going to be like this always. You go back home. Dhruva, don't take this so serious. You're only a child. Just go play and everything will be all right. You try to tell him like that. Dhruva says, no way. If you want, you teach me. Otherwise, I'll do it on my own. Like that. Dhruva was full of conviction. And so Narada, little bit of testing he did like that. Then Narada also told him, Dhruva, if you see somebody with superior qualities, you should not get jealous of them. You should be having respect for them and be happy for them. This is a beautiful shloka we studied many times in Bhagavatam class. Gunadikan mudam lipset anukrosham gunadhaman maitrim samana anviched na tapairabhibhuyate. When we see somebody with superior qualities, we should have respect for them, we should be happy for them. When we see somebody with lesser qualities or lesser intelligence than us, we should have little compassion for them. When we see somebody equal to us, then we can be friends with them. If we have this attitude, does not matter what is the age or what is their status, anything. If you like somebody's qualities and intelligence, they're young or whatever, doesn't matter. We should have respect and adoration for them and appreciate that. And if we had somebody lesser than us, we should not show off to them. We should try to understand. Then if we had somebody equal, we should be friends with them and grow with them. Like that, Narada is telling Dhruva, do not have so much competitiveness with your brother. It's okay. He's your brother only. Try to get along with him. Try to go back. But Dhruva is not listening. Dhruva says, I want to attain that state which is higher than my father, even higher than my grandfather, that state which no one has attained before. I want to attain that state. You please help me. This is what Dhruva said. And so Narada, he understood this child is not going to be such a, Siddha Sada. He's going to make it, he's going to take it all the way. So Narada, Sandrishta Narada Nivedida Mandra Margaha, he gave him the beautiful Dwadashakshara mantra. Twamararada tapasa madhukananande. He told him how to meditate on the beautiful form of Bhagavan. Adho Varugindran, Adho Varugindran, guruvAyUrappan, Adho Varugindran. How will Bhagavan's Rupa look? How will Bhagavan look? He's describing the form. Anilash Lakshnakesham, Jwalidamagara Satkundalam, Mandahasasyandagram, Kaustubhashri, Panigadavanamalorunaraviramam, Srivatsangam, Subahum, Mridula Saludaram, Anjanachayachelam, Charu Snigdhorumamboru Halalidapadam, Avayeham Bhavandam. Like this, he is telling the form of guruvAyUrappan, how it will be. Dhruva, so he did not even have Akshara Abhyasa yet. He didn't even start going to school and learn anything. Just a little kid playing. And so Narada is teaching him the mantra and also the form of that mantra. The beautiful, lovely curly hair of Bhagavan, beautiful blue complexion of Bhagavan, the lotus-like eyes of Bhagavan, the sharp nose, the beautiful red lips, which have a beautiful pleasing smile, which are beautiful garlands from head to toe, which are beautiful kaustubha mani on the neck, which are beautiful shoulder ornaments and armlets and bracelets, and which are beautiful pitambara, and the lotus feet of Bhagavan are so soft and gentle. And so you meditate on this form, Like that, Narada describes the form to Dhruva. And so Dhruva went. He went to Madhukananande in Vrindavana, near the Yamuna river. There are many forests in that area, and whole places, that is a Vrindavanam. There are different forests. And so this forest Madhukananande, the forest called Madhuvana, was selected, and there Dhruva goes and starts doing tapas. So now here, Tade Vishanna Vidaye Nagarim Gadena Srinaradena Parisantvita Chitta Vrittao Balaswadapidamana Kramavardhidena Inye Kathora Tapasa Kila Panchamasan Tate Vishanna Hridaye Nagarim Gadena Srinaradena Parisantvita Chitta Vrittau Balastvadapidamana Kramavardhitena Ninye Kathora Tapasa Ila Panchamasan. His feelings, he's now full of remorse. Uttanapada. He's full of remorse and feeling terrible that all this happened. After Dhruva left, he's feeling terrible now. And then for many days, he's like this. And so Narada, after giving advice to Dhruva, Narada came to visit Uttanapada. And he made sure Uttanapada does not send an army to go look for Dhruva and disturb his penance in the forest. So he came to Uttanapada and told him and asked him, why are you sad? What is wrong? Uttanapada narrated the whole incident to Narada. Narada says, your son is safe and do not go disturb him right now. He's going to make your fame, make you famous all over the world. You leave him alone for some time, he will come back. Like this, Narada told him, and then he was consoled. Then our Dhruva was doing the tapas and Kathora tapasa. Ninye Kathora tapasa kila panchamasa. First he had little fruit, then he gave up fruit and only ate some leaves or vegetable. Then he gave up that. Then he only had water. Then he even gave up that. Then he only was breathing air. Then he even gave up that. And then he was just, in a state of complete bliss. And Bhagavan is seeing inside. He's not even breathing. And he's already merged with Bhagavan inside. And so as he is his tapas is that energy is spreading to the entire area, to the entire world, and the devas are feeling the energy and the intensity of his tapas, and they are not able to understand, and they are getting suffocation because Dhruva is not breathing. They also feel suffocated. He's holding the entire air as though within him, and then the whole world is choking. They are not able to breathe. So the devas go run to Narayana, and then they say, please help us. What is happening? Then Dhruva says, my child, Bhagavan says, my child Dhruva is doing tapas. I shall go give him darshan and bless him now. Like this, Bhagavan consoled the devatas and they came back. And then, that is the next sloka, Tavat tapobala niruchvaside digande devatidastamudaya karunadrachetaha Twadruva chidrasa nilina mate purastade avirbhavu vidavivo garudadirudaha Tavat tapobala niruchvaside digande devatidastamudaya karunadrachetaha Twadruva chidrasa nilinamate purastade avirbhavo vidavivo garudadirudaha. Tapas is felt everywhere, all around the world. And then the devatas are getting suffocated because as though Dhruva is controlling all the air within himself. He's not letting it out. And so the whole world is getting suffocated. So the devas go run to Bhagavan. Tavat tapobala niruchvaside digande devatidastam udayat karunardra chetaha. Bhagavan's mind is full of compassion and he's so overpowering compassion. And so he comes running on Garuda. He's sitting on Garuda and running to come and give darshan to Dhruva. Deva Tidastamudaya Karunardra Chetaha. Bhagavan is Karuna Samudram. Every time he's coming and listening, I feel quietly he's listening as we are doing class every time. So, Twadruva Chidrasa Nilina Madhe Purastade is coming and giving darshan to Dhruva. In Dhruva, in his heart, his mind is completely merged with the form that Narada has described, and that form is giving Chit Rasa Nilina Mate, that's giving so much bliss that even for a flash, if you had a remembrance of Bhagavan for a second, you feel Ananda for next minute. But when you have continuous only that, with exclusion of all other thoughts, then you will feel like you're drenched in bliss. Like that, Dhruva is in that state of supreme bliss. Tvat Dhruva Chit Rasa Nilina Mate. His mind is and buddhi are completely in that rupa, which is giving ultimate bliss, ultimate feeling of bliss and ananda. So he's immersed in that feeling. When Bhagavan came and stood there, he did not even realize. Avirbhavu vidavivo garudadirudaha. Suddenly Bhagavan has appeared in front of him and seated on the Garuda. Avirbhavu vidavivo garudadirudaha. This is the effect Bhagavan's darshan has on everyone. This is why the Sanakadi rishis, when they entered Vaikuntha, even when they are entering the entrance itself, you could feel the bliss of that place. The beautiful fragrance, the beautiful, when we breathe that air, you feel the bliss. Like that, the Sanakadi rishis enter. They haven't seen Bhagavan yet, just the area itself, and where even the honeybees are buzzing and singing the glories of Narayana, where Mother Lakshmi with all her friends is sitting on a beautiful jhula and swinging and singing the glories of her Lord. And she's looking so beautiful because she has been just kissed by the Lord. Like that, the Vaikuntha is so beautiful. And then when you see Bhagavan himself in front of you, that bliss is unexplainable. So when the two Dwarapalaka, Jai Vijaya stopped them, the Sanaka the Rishi became very angry. He said, "This do not stop anyone who comes to Vaikuntha. It's not easy to come to Vaikuntha, and only the people who are eligible will get here. And once we get here, you are stopping us. How dare you do so? Therefore, you become asuras." So like that, the darshan, they are rishis. They are already in state of bliss, but that Vaikuntha, that place and guruvAyUrappan's form has that effect on even Sanakadi rishis. What about Janaka Maharaja? He's also a Jnani, but when Rama Lakshmana with beautiful bow and arrow, with beautiful youthful form appear in front of him, he also loses his peace and wants to go hug them and kiss them and do everything to them. Like that, it has effect. The rupa of Bhagavan has that effect even on jnanis. What about little child? He's doing penance. He's also experiencing that ananda. So when Bhagavan comes in front of him, Dhruva Tvadarshana Paramada Vara Tarangitam Tam. This is the word. Paramada Vara Tarangitam Tam. Is completely overwhelmed with waves of bliss. ஒரு சமுத்திரம் அப்படியே ஓவர்ஃப்ளோ ஆயிட்டு, the ocean of bliss is overflowing and drenching Dhruva. Pramata bhara tarangidam tam tvadarshana. The darshan of guruvAyUrappan will have that effect. Should we try to get that? Yes, right? Tvadarshana pramata bhara tarangidam tam divyam nimatnamiva rupa rasayanite. See the beautiful words our Bhattadri uses in Narayanam. Even when you read, you feel ras. That's how Narayana is. So, Taddarshana Pramata Bhara Tarangidam Dam Divyam Nimaknamiva Rupa Rasayanete Tushtushamanam Avagamya Kapola Deshe Samsprishtavanasidarena Tadadarena Tadadarena. Very nice. त्वद्दर्शन प्रमथभार तरङ्गिदं दं दिग्भ्यां निमग्नमिव रूपरसायने ते तुष्टूषमाणम् अवगम्य कपोलदेशे संस्पृष्टवानसिदरेण तदादरेण. He appeared in front of him. Dhruva is still closing his eyes and he is immersed in the bliss inside. So Bhagavan made that form inside disappear. Then you can see Bhagavan is inside and outside, isn't it? How could Bhagavan make that form disappear from inside? Because he is also inside. So Bhagavan made that form disappear. Then when inside became blank, then Dhruva opened his eyes. He saw it's over here. It's outside now. So now Dhruva is feeling that Pramada Bar Tarangidam Tam. The wave of bliss and ecstatic feeling. And this is what a jiva would be struggling many births to feel that. All jivas, we are all like that, to feel, waiting to feel this Pramada Bhara Tarangitam Tam. So one by one tests are coming and we are solving each and every problem one by one over a course of janmas, many janmas over. And so like that for Dhruva, now the time has come today. So he's feeling that after so many births, last birth, he had a wish to become, a Raja for some time. And then now Bhagavan is going to fulfill that wish. But because of that wish, he had to take a Janma now. Otherwise, he has done lot of tapas in previous birth. And he would have already attained moksha last birth. But in the last moments, there was his friend Raja. His friend was a king. And he came to visit Dhruva in the forest as he is doing, living the life in the forest. He came to visit. At the moment, it was Dhruva, not Dhruva, another Brahman. And the moment he saw this friend of his being a Raja and having, lot of people around him and having a very rich life, a little desire came in his mind, it seems. And so that is why he is reborn now. That Brahmana from previous birth is reborn as Dhruva. And so now Bhagavan is going to fulfill that wish. But that person has done so much tapas in many births and gone through samsara many janmas over. And so we are all eagerly waiting for that state, right? So we are going through each and every side, our life journey is going through. And one day we also want to get here where Pramada Bhara Tarangitam Tam. Appa, everything finished. Now this is what it's all about. Wow, this is what it's all about. He understands and gets the answer for everything today. And so he's feeling that ecstatic feeling and bliss. And all the problems are gone and feeling so light and so happy. And so, Divyam Nimatnamiva Rupa Rasayanete. That is the Rupa Rasa of guruvAyUrappan. And so, now he's trembling, the tears are coming, thinking everything I went through before, all worth it, Krishna, all worth it. You have come and stood in front of me, everything is good. Like this, now he wants to say something. Tushtu Shamanam. He wants to praise him. And he wants to say, thank you. Wow, everything is your grace. It's all awesome. Like this, he wants to say something. Nothing is coming. He didn't even go to school yet. So Bhagavan, Tushtu Shamanam Avagamya Kapola Deshe. He took his Shanka, Bhagavan, and he rubbed it on the cheek of Dhruva. And when we see a child, we want to touch its cheek and do like that. Pet the child, isn't it? Like that. Our guruvAyUrappan, he touched the cheek of Dhruva and petted him. And suddenly, the words are pouring out of Dhruva. And he sang the beautiful Dhruva Stuti. Yunta pravishya mama vacha mimam prasukta सञ्जीवयत्यखिल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरण श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्. Wow, you are the answer for everything, Krishna. Where were you hiding? So many birds, I'm calling you. You never came. Now I understand. You are the one who is propelling all my sense organs, and I am able to work, I am able to speak, I am able to enjoy everything because you are inside me. You are the master. You are the soul. You are making everything happen. Today I understood. Like this, with every shloka, Dhruva praised Bhagavan. Beautiful Dhruva Stuti we already studied in the other class. So, samstushtu shamanamavagamya kapola deshe samsprishtavanasi darena tadadarena. Now, tavat vibodha vimalam pranuvandamenam abhashada swamavagamya tadiya bhavam rajyam chiram samanubhuya bhajasva bhuyah sarvottaram dhruvapadam vinivrittihinam. Tavat vibodha vimalam pranuvandamenam abhashada swamavagamya tadiya bhavam Rajyam chiram samanubhuya bhajasva bhuyah sarvottaram dhruvapadam vinivrittihinam. Tavat vibodha vimalam. Yes, understood and attained jnana now, Dhruva. And so he is praising Bhagavan pranuvandamenam abhashada swamavagamya tadiya bhavam. Bhagavan understood what is in his mind. What a bhakta wants, our innermost thoughts, Bhagavan understands. Even we may not understand our own what we want. We may not remember, but Bhagavan remembers us from previous births also. So Bhagavan knows what is in Dhruva's mind. So Bhagavan, Rajyam Chiram Samanubhuya, you're going to enjoy the kingdom for a long time. Then Bhajasva Bhuyah Sarvottaram, the highest state, higher than all the other states, you will attain Dhruvaloka, where it is that beautiful luminary which is giving light to the other luminaries around it. All the Saptarishi Mandalam is, and all the other luminaries are around that lofty pole star called Dhruva, and they are all circling it and doing pradakshinam to it. And so you will attain that high state which nobody can attain without bhakti. You will attain that high state of Lord Narayana. Sarvottaram Dhruvapadam Vinivrittihinam, and there is no fall from that state. You will be in that state for a long time. Then when Brahma attains mukti, you will also attain mukti. Like this, Bhagavan blessed him the highest. And like Dhruva said, I want something which my father or my grandfather have not attained. Yes, exactly like that. The Vishnu Parshadas are telling him, you're going to attain that state which is higher than anyone. No one has attained that state yet. And so like this, they bless him. Bhagavan blesses him. Ityuchishi tvaigate nripanandanosav ananditagila jano nagari mupedah deme chirambavat anugraha purna kamaha. How will all our aspirations come true? Bhavat anugraha. Every word is so beautiful. Narayanam is packed with, meaning, all the words. Bhavat anugraha purna kamaha. If you want all our kamas to be fulfilled, how? Bhavat anugraha. With your grace, our aspirations are fulfilled. For that's how Dhruva's aspirations were fulfilled. Bhavat anugraha purna kamaha tade gade chavanamadrida rajya bharaha ityuchishi tvaigate nripanandanosav anandita akhila jano nagari mupedah deme chiram bhavat anugraha purna kamaha tate gade chavanamadrida rajya bharaha.
Ityuchishi tuyigade nripanandanosav anandita akhila jano nagari mupedah Preme chiram bhavanugraha purna kama तादे गदे जवनमागधराज्यभारा
Him you will rule for 36,000 years, and then you will have a lot of name and fame. You will perform many yagas, and after that you will attain my abode, the Dhruvaloka itself. And so Bhagavan left, and then Dhruva, all his wishes are fulfilled. Reme chiram bhavad anugraha purna kamaha. What is earned with grace, it's most beautiful and auspicious because he earned it with grace of Bhagavan, right? So, Bhavat Anugraha Purna Kamaha Tate Gade Chavanam. His father went to the forest. He left and renounced his kingly life and went to the forest. At that time, he made Dhruva the king. Adridarajyabharaha. Then we see the next story. Yakshena deva nihade punaruttamesmin यक्षै सयुद्धनिरदो विरदो मनुज्ञा शान्त्या प्रसन्न हृदया धनदादुपेतादे त्वद्भक्तिमेव सुदृढा अवृणोन्महात्मा यक्षेण देव निहदे पुनरुत्तमेऽस्मिन् यक्षै सयुद्धनिरदो विरतो मनुज्ञा शान्त्या प्रसन्न हृदया धनदादुपेतादे त्वद्भक्तिमेव सुदृढा अवृणोन्महात्मा. We are studying this in Bhagavatam now. We see a Yaksha came and attacked his brother Uttama when Uttama had gone hunting in the forest, and Uttama, his brother, Dhruva's brother, was killed by the Yaksha. Yaksha Sayuddha Nirado Virato Manutya. Dhruva got angry and he started fighting with the Yakshas. Yakshas are, their Raja is Kubera. And so they are all friendly people, but they are also, they can also create trouble for us, Yakshas. They are all celestial beings higher than us. And so Dhruva became angry and he tried to take revenge, and there was lot of fighting. Then Swayambhuva Manu came and gave counsel to Dhruva and told him to stop fighting and make peace. And Dhruva listened. And so Shantya Prasanna Hridaya Dhanada Dupedate. When Dhanada, the king of the leader of the Yakshas, Kubera, is the lord of wealth, he came and was happy with the peaceful nature of Dhruva. And so he said, ask me a boon. I want to give you something. The lord of wealth has come. Is Dhruva going to ask more wealth? No, not this time. He made the mistake last birth. Now he's not going to do it. He said, give me Bhakti meva sudrida. Give me bhakti to guruvAyUrappan. Do not want anything else. Give me beautiful shloka in Bhagavatam. Saraja rajena varaya chodito dhruvo mahabhagavato mahamati harau savavre achalitam smritim yaya taratya yatnena duratyayam tamaha. Give me that unflinching devotion to Sri Hari, the wealth nammalodu. இந்த பக்தினால் எல்லாம் அடையலாம். பக்தி தான் வேணும். We want, so Dhruva said, let me have continuous remembrance of Sri Hari, and that is the only way to remove the darkness of ignorance. Smritim yaya taratya yatnena duratyayam tamaha. As we saw yesterday, we're all immersed in ignorance. To remove that, bhakti is the only way. And so Dhruva says, give me unflinching devotion to Sri Hari. Tad bhakti meva sudridam avrinon mahatma. Then the last part, ande bhavat purushanida vimanayado matra samam dhruvapade mudito yamaste evam savritya jana palana loladi swam padalayadipanirunnima mamayogan. Ande bhavat पुरुषनीद विमानयादो मात्रा समं ध्रुवपदे मुदितो यमास्ते एवं स्वभृत्य जनपालनलोलधि स्वं पादालयाधिपनिरुन्धि ममामयोगान्. Puruषनीद. So after Kubera left, now Dhruva is day by day growing in bhakti, and he is immersed in feeling of love and devotion to Sri Hari all the time. Now he has become like Prahlada. sometimes crying, sometimes smiling, sometimes feeling horripilation, and always immersed in that state of ecstatic bliss. And he's remaining like this, and he's doing his duties, but slowly more and more devotion is coming day by day. And now finally the years passed by like this, and one day suddenly Dhruva saw a beautiful aerial vehicle come outside, and he saw two beautiful shining beings seated on it. They are Nanda and Sunanda, the emissaries of guruvAyUrappan, and they also look so beautiful, just like guruvAyUrappan, with beautiful blue form, with golden earrings and ornaments, and beautiful, lovely eyes like lotus petals. And they are looking with so much, with a smile and at Dhruva and telling him. And Dhruva, the moment he saw, he got up in haste and he did pranams and bowed down to them. And he surely knew these are divine beings. And he did pranams and stood like that. And the divine beings Sunanda and Nanda, they spoke to Dhruva in the most beautiful, thunderous voice, saying, "You are the favorite of the Lord. You managed to please the Lord at the tender age of 5 by doing intense penance, and now you have attained that high state called Dhruvaloka, which even the Saptarishis with so much penance have never been able to attain. Which no one has been able to attain that high state even by their tapas or by their effort. Only you have managed to attain that location. Come, we have come to take you now. Please come with us." Like this, our Dhruva is feeling so much anandam, and he's about to step on that aerial vehicle. At the time, Yama, the god of death, comes. Everybody has to give up this mortal body and take a divine body to go to heaven, isn't it? So Dhruva is ready to take a divine form and step on that vehicle. At the time, Yama has come to take his toll. And so Dhruva, he used Yama's head as a stepping stone and to climb to the vehicle. And so that is the beautiful shloka, very famous. We will study in Bhagavatam. Tadottana pada putro dadarshantakamágatam mrityod murdhni padam datva arurohadbhutam griham tada dundubayo neduhu mridanga गंधर्वमुख्याः प्रजगुः पेतुः कुसुमवृष्टयः बोलिए ध्रुव महाराज की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। So put his feet on the head of Yama, and he climbed that beautiful aerial vehicle Pushpaka Vimana. And moment he climbed, this is what the high state. He stepped on the head of death, stepped on the head of death, and he attained that high region which no one has attained before. Then suddenly he remembered, "Arey, where is my mother? Amma." Now he remembers, "Amma, are you here?" He's still thinking, "Oh, they are showing us, see, your mom is already going in another beautiful vehicle, Dhruva." Like that, they point her to him, and then Dhruva and both of them attain Bhagavan. Ande bhavat purushanida vimanayado matra samam Dhruvapade mudito yamaste evam sabhyajana palana loladhisvam. This way, guruvAyUrappa, you're always protecting your devotees. You're eager to protect your devotees. Vrityajana palana, who will protect? Only Bhagavan. He'll never let us down. He'll never compromise us. Do not lose faith in him. Like this, Narayam teaches the story of Dhruva. Evam sabhrityajana palanalo ladhistvam vadalayadipa irundi mamama yogan. Hey guruvAyUrappa, you took Dhruva to high regions. Please bless me also. Please cure my ailments. Like this, our Narayana Bhattadri offered Canto number 17. Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha Sandranandavabodatmagamanthamidam Kaladeshavadibhyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashara Sahasrena निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनरुरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावद्मादि साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे अन्धभाग्यं जनानाम्। श्रीकृष्णाय परब्रह्मणे नमः। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम
राम
हरे
हरे
हरे,
हरे,
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
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 कृष्ण हरे हरे।